two previous
Right.
owners to you.
Right, and they spent a lot of money fixing it up, a lot of time and effort, and they did a very good job. And we just continued on, but, you know, I mean, a lot of the stuff we did was, you know, like the garage and the family room, was kind of the edges of the house and the outside of the house. And we've redone some of the rooms, but not nearly like the work they did. Any other questions?
How many rooms were there originally upstairs?
You know, I am, on the third floor, it was just an attic, and I think Charles, was it you that said that it was originally, yeah, 4? The attic wasn't finished. There's, on the third floor right now, instead of an attic, it's 3 apartments, and we still have those rented out. So,
What year were those built?
1921.
What year were the apartments built? I'm just curious.
It would have been in the 40s, I believe.
Because my father's first residence on the lake was right here.
A lot of people have come by and said, I used to live here. So, any other questions?
What is the floor under the carpet?
It's wood. Yeah. They put the carpet on, but they said that the wood floor was pretty torn up from having been divided up into different rooms. And so they tried to restore it. Hi. I didn't see you come in. Tried to restore it, but it was going to be pretty bad. They'd have to redo the wood. So, and you can kind of see the room next door. We didn't redo. That's the only thing. The only thing we haven't done really that needs to be done is the room over there, and it has a wood floor, but it would be kind of had to be really redone. So, and I think they wanted to warm it up. And I've always wanted to change this orange stripe, but I kept thinking, well, when I do that room, we call it the auction room because we put all auction stuff in there, but I've never done it, so it hasn't been done yet. But the reason why they have that stripe in is because if you notice, the entryway is original tile, and it has blue and kind of a brick color, you know, a burnt color in it. And the orange stripe has kind of lightened as with time. And so I'm thinking maybe it just will lighten even more.
Is the mantle original?
You know, I thought it was, but as you'll see in some of the slides, this is not original. So they must have redone this part of it. I don't know. This is original, but this is different.
Oh.
Who was
What
here?
about the mirrors?
Yeah. The mirrors were put on by the claps, and there's a slide in the slide presentation that you'll see was original. The claps did that, I know. Any other questions?
Well, yeah, thank you. I was pretending that my hard of hearing problem, I couldn't hear Donna whisper. And then she wants to talk a little bit about business, and I thought, I won't let her talk about business unless she tells us about the Chinese cook that Martin Clapp had.
Well, this is kind of fun for me. Do you really need that? I have a big voice.
Yes.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Because when I was in junior high school, you can all guess when that was, my father was Norton Clapp's head, I guess, contractor. And when Norton Clapp bought this house, Mary was pregnant with her youngest child. And so my dad was in charge of all of the renovation that they wanted to do. And if my memory isn't failing me, the third floor, because the ramp went up the third floor, right? Am I right?
There's a ramp on the third floor and a ramp on the second.
Okay, well, we loved running up and down the ramp. I had to come over and help pick up rusty nails with the Clapp boys because with Norton Clapp, you didn't waste anything. And they maybe could be used again. If they were bent, somebody could straighten them out. But I thought it was the third floor. We used to run up the ramp, and that's where the nursery and the nanny's room were being done for the new baby. Now, it could have been the second floor,
I bet it was.
but I think it was. So during the time my dad was in charge of all of this, he spent a lot of time over here, and the Chinese cook was setting up the kitchen and saying what he wanted and what he didn't want. One day he said, Bob, how would you, now I got this story when he got home. How would you like trout for lunch? You like fish? Oh, my dad said, sure, that'd be great. So he fixes this and has my dad sit down in the kitchen, and here's this nice trout, and he says, you'll never have a fresher one. He said, I just caught the duck that had swallowed it. Anyway, my business part of this is, I know a lot of you haven't been with us before, and it's the Lakewood Historical Society. Well, what are they doing? Well, we don't always do things as nice as this, and we don't always do things as nice as the Lakewood function in September, but we hope to. And our main purpose right now is to educate the community on all of these lovely places and the history that there is in Lakewood. And there's a lot more than what even those of us that have lived here for many years really remember about. We kind of get lost in the hubbub of the new communities and development. So that's one of our main goals. Other than that, we are hoping to do things like save the Lakewood Theater and eventually have a home of our own that we can have our artifacts in and call a museum, possibly. Well, we have a house in mind if we get enough support and all the good things, and it's the home that Dr. and Mrs. Gunther live in on 112th. We call it the Gunter House now, but historically it's called the
Boatman Ainsworth.
Boatman Ainsworth. I used to call it the Orr House, so I always... No, but to do all of these, to handle the goals that we have in mind, it takes two things. And of course, that big ugly word money and the fun word called people are the two things that it takes and that we need. So we're starting our membership drive. We've been a fledgling group, almost to the point of being a coffee clutch, but now we are big time. And in January, we're sending out all of our letters to all of our charter members. And sorry, we no longer take charter members. You now will become a member of the 2001 group. So we will be sending letters out to our members and for rejoining, and we're hoping that a lot of you that are here for the first time will join. I'm here tonight. There are brochures. If you don't have a brochure, if you do have a brochure, there's just an insert in it that you can take home and fill out for your 2001 membership.
Where are the brochures, Donna?
Danielle has them. Where do you want to put them?
Danielle.
So people can. And there is, if you don't want to join tonight, but you'd like to put your name and telephone number down and have a call for our meeting in January, which is our general meeting, and it's our election of officers and our planning for the next year. There is a tablet and pencil on the dining room table. Would be nice if you'd sign that. And we are going to have some of our other programs will be Dee Quigley and about the Quigley family. And we have Edie Brewer is going to talk about the Davison family, where are you, Edie? Which of course Davison Square, all of you are aware of. And we just have wonderful things planned, so you'll have a good time if you join us.
Donna, I wanted to just add that we're now a 501c3 organization, which makes your gifts deductible to the Historical Society.
Did you all get that? We've fallen into becoming another number. Okay, thank you.
Well, now what have I forgotten?
Slideshow.
What?
The slideshow.
The slideshow? Oh, yes, yeah, that's right. I just saw Ellen over there and I forgot what I was going to say.
Stand. Can you stand up, Ellen?
Well, it'll take me about...
You want her to stand up?
Ellen?
Yes.
Ah.
Ellen is our prize relic.
What?
Prize relic.
She is an original
You bring
twin.
up my name at every meeting, so I just didn't think I needed to stand.
Oh. She has a lovely old house on the edge of Lakewood going towards University Place. museum, the traffic is serious. It's hard to get in and out of that place. And I don't know, I just love to see that house saved. It's just, how do we do it? And how do we use it? And so on. If you've got any ideas, I wish you'd let us know.
We wrestle with it constantly.
Yeah.
There is a turn lane though. There is a turn lane.
There
Now,
is a turn
that
lane.
helps a lot from what it
Okay.
used to be.
All right. Well, it's down there where Bridgeport crosses Custer Road in the Meadow Park area. And there's loads of history in that place. Well, we won't go into that. We'll go to the slideshow, which we have to move into position.
We need to cut her hair. It's curly. It stands up. Oh, okay. I think I'll move too. So we can see the I'm gonna move, okay?
Yeah, go ahead. There you go.
Oh, that's good if you keep your head down. There's one lady.
Well, here's Henry Rhodes as I remember him, somewhere off in the distance.
Si, you're gonna have to move.
You move.
You're There, that's better, thank you.
What year would that have been roughly then?
Well, judging by the Boston Ivy, I'd say it's about 1935 or 6. He'd been there quite a few years. You can judge that house, the age of the pictures, something about the ivy that gets more and more and more. I used to come over here with the Fraser girls to go skating when the lagoon froze over. There was one thing about Henry that I didn't realize until years later, Henry and Berdella. They were really nice people. Ted Turpin, who was a newspaper boy, every time he came to collect, every month, they always gave him his money promptly, and they asked him in to have lemonade in the summer and hot cocoa in the winter. Never failed. And Ted was so impressed because he had to go to other places where he got bad treatment. I know about that. We had a newspaper route for 3 years and 3 months. And we certainly had our favorite customers. He said the one person he could never collect from was Frank Baker. Frank owned the paper. So, anyhow, Henry and Berdella were really nice to Ted. Well, after all that, I disconnected. The problem was that the clicker here got underneath the projector. There we go. And there's Berdella in her beautiful garden. The gown, early 20s, right? Anybody? Oh. The hat.